Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you've been a part of this series, we've been exploring different pathways to relocating to Canada. We've talked about the federal skilled worker route with the express entry. We've talked about the provincial nomination program, and today Debby, our friend here, is going to be telling us about the student visa pathway. How can prospective students or prospective international students that want to come and study in Canada, how can they go about applying for student visa? Is there anything to look out for? How can they go about that?
Okay, so I think the first thing to talk about would be getting admission first. So, you know, before you can talk about visa, you need to have gotten admission into a school in Canada. But one thing I would like to discuss first is when you're looking at coming into Canada, you should ensure that it's not like other places where you can just apply to any school you see because they are offering a postgraduate program. There's something we call the designated learning institutions. So they have a code, it's DLI. It's called DLI. So they have a code, and you should ensure that you are applying to schools who are under that list, that designated list. Because if your school that you have applied to is not under the DLI list, there is a problem. So especially when you want to, you know, explore other options within Canada, after you come in, you have to be sure that you're applying to those kind of schools that are under those lists, and courses too as well. You know, there are courses that might be a disadvantage if you are not sure that that course qualifies for, you know, advancement in your status when you come to Canada. So that's why I tell people it's not about, oh, there's somebody that can get me admission. Somebody got my neighbor admission. You only hear about what happened to your neighbor after the neighbor has finished his study. So it's very important to know these things. So admission first, ensure that you're getting the admission from a school that is under the DLI list.
Is there a place?
Yes, definitely. Just put DLI list, Canada schools. It will come out with their codes.
Guys, we'll drop it in the...
Yes, I will drop the link. I will send it. So ensure that your school is there and your course is there. That's the first thing. So once you get an admission, then we can begin to talk about the visa. So admission is honestly very easy to get.
Right. I heard that people claim that in Canada, maybe it's the visa.
It's the visa.
Okay. I think sorry, I'm getting it wrong.
Admission is very easy. Admission is very easy, especially with the colleges. Postgraduate degree, postgraduate diploma. Very easy. So we give you overnight.
Wow.
It's very easy. It's very easy to get it.
So now
what happens to you after?
We now come to the student visa. Applying for the student visa. What do you think? Because the claim I used to hear is that Canada student visa, it is hard to get Canada student visa. Why do you think this is? Why do you think that is a perception?
It's a valid perception, to be very honest. It's a valid perception because, I mean, the discretion has been given to the people, you know, look into your application, visa application. So once in the law, once they give you discretion, I can just look and be like, no, I'm not giving you. It's difficult to get it, but it's not something that cannot be done. It's far from it. That's why it's always advisable, and because the Canadian government doesn't want you to be applying without a licensed immigration consultant. Because what that does for you is that when we need to appeal the decision, you have legal grounds to appeal it. But if you have applied as an individual, on what grounds do you want to appeal? You just say, okay, let me go and pay, let me go and do it again, let me go and apply, and then you realize third time, fourth time, and the number of deniers, the lesser your chances. It's easier when you are going to them on a clean slate, you know. I've not been denied before. But once you get the first denier, the second denier, you have to do more. So I always advise, as if you know Canada is the goal and you need that visa, try as much as possible to invest and use a licensed immigration consultant for your application. I am not, like I've said earlier, but my organization is partnered with one that we use when we do visa. But for Canada, you need to cross your T's, dot your I's.
And this is why licensed immigration consultants
are
skilled in this,
they are skilled in this. They know what they are looking for. You don't know what they are looking for.
That's true.
But I know some people will say a lot of people did it themselves, but they got advice. You know, there are a lot. You know, there are a lot of people you will see. We have a lot of people, you know, giving professional advice online on how to get it. But there are some people that no matter what they see, they are still not getting it. What are you doing to put the important things that they want to see in their face immediately? Some of them just take 2 minutes to glance through an application to say this is rejected. So you must make your first impression on your application within the first 2-3 minutes that officer is looking at your application. How do you do that? It takes a lot of work. I was looking at an application 2 days ago and I was just like, this can only be Canada. Just for a study, what is all of this? The documentation,
that they
graphic.
For?
No, not that someone's application that we were putting together. Graphics, tables. I mean, we don't need all of that in a normal, you know, but that's what it takes. But you wouldn't know that you're supposed to be doing tables.
All of those things.
You're supposed to be doing graphs. You're supposed to, yes. For your finances, you break it down. There has to be an expenditure plan.
Wow.
The visa application. So, I mean, but you would just be like, yes, I have proof of funds. I have 10 million naira. I have submitted my year. Who is looking at your statement of account? Who you think they have time to be looking at your 15 pages that you printed from Access Bank? No, they don't have time. They don't have time.
That's true.
They don't have time. So, I mean, yeah, we submit 10 pages. I have 15 million. I have this and that. It does not matter. So one thing that is very important for study visa to Canada is your statement of purpose. It's called SOP. That's where you have to tell your story. And after telling your story, you will tell us why you are coming to Canada there. It's like you are doing projects in school. Why Canada? Why that course? Why are you choosing that course at this point in your life? Why are you choosing that course? You have to explain to us why that course. Why Canada? Why can't you go to the UK to study the course? It's closer to, for example, Nigeria. It's not going to cost you a lot of money to fly from, you know, Lagos to Heathrow. So, but why
you need
Canada?
To be able to explain
how that, you know, affects you. Why do you think coming to Canada is going to help you, you know, achieve your goals, your career goals? One thing I need to point out, very important, is the fact that, you know, it's easy to get admission. You see people now because the goal for them is because they want to come to Canada. It's not as if that study is important. So they will have, maybe their first degree is in accounting. They will now do, come into Canada, maybe postgraduate degree. And is in health. Something totally different. You will get admission. But now, it poses a problem at the point of visa. It poses a problem for you because you are supposed to explain to us your career projection. Like, make it make sense to me. How you did accounting. And now, this one that you are coming into Canada to come and do is in healthcare management. I need to understand. You need to be able to sell a story with your application. So your visa application is you telling a story, basically. So you have to be able to tell a story on how that happened in your life. You see some people totally opposite things.
And that's not bad, right?
It's not bad.
That you need to make
especially even when you're coming through a college. That is what colleges are meant for. When you're coming from a different skill set into another, you need to learn that professionally. You need to have a certificate for that. That's why colleges are, you know, available for you. But you need to, that's why they gave you the admission in the college. But you need to explain to the visa officer why you were working in an accounting firm for 5 years and your bachelor's is in accounting, or you were working in the bank for 5 years and now you're saying you want to do healthcare management. Why should I give you the visa? It doesn't make sense. This means that you want to japa. That's
means,
what. Yes.
Japa in Nigerian lingo, by the way, means escape.
Yeah, you want to escape.
You want to.
So that's the thing. You need to be able to. There must be a flow with your visa application. There must be a flow with your visa application. So when you get the admission, I always advise people, if there's no story behind why you are leaving this, your first degree or your second degree, to go to an extreme one that you don't have work experience. So for example, there are people that are not working presently in what they studied in school, but they have work experience in something different. So they now say, you know, I want to go and get professional or certificate in that thing. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You can explain that. But your work experience is not in what you are going to go and do. Your bachelor's is not there. You will meet it at the visa point. So you have to tell a story with that in your SOP. One thing that is very important is that study visa is a temporary status visa.
Okay.
And in the eye of the officer that is going to look into your application, the law is binding on him to only approve your application if that your application proves that you are only coming to Canada to stay temporarily. Temporarily. So if anything in that application shows that you are coming, your end goal is to stay permanently, it will be rejected. Even though they know you might stay. But for them to approve that visa, you must have proven beyond reasonable doubt that application.
This is the only reason why
I'm just coming to study and I'm going. I'm just coming to study and I'm going. That's why even though people come and they have their kids, they have their husband and they give them visa, it doesn't work for some people. Because that person that he worked for might have gone the extra mile to prove that even though I'm coming with my entire family, this is what I have back home that requires us to come back. So which will lead me to ties.
Home ties.
Home ties, yeah. Okay. Home ties. When you are doing study visa, you have to have a very strong home ties. That's why people will say, I'm leaving my children and husband. They are used because that's like one of the strongest tie you can have. So I'm leaving my children and my husband in my country, but I'm just coming here to study for this period of time. Definitely, they know you're not going to leave your children and run. So that's the strongest tie you can have. Your kids. So you have to be able, people use other things too for ties, their parents, their grandparents,
or
properties, landed properties, jobs. So for example, in the instance of, I'm getting a study leave.
So I'm still coming back.
I'm coming back. So your workplace is writing to say, we are aware that, so person is going to study for this period of time in Canada, and this is the course he's going to do. We are looking forward on how he's going to come back to apply the skills he has learned is this, because we're also considering him for this position after this program. So they know that, this is an official statement saying that he is coming back, and the company is aware that he's coming back, and that letter too should have a date. When he's coming back. Resumption. We're expecting him back at the office at so day. That's a tie.
So much
to prove. Yes, you have to. You have to be very intentional. So to them, that's like, okay, the company is gonna, they want him back. That's another way to prove ties. Your job. People have federal government job, state government job. That's strong ties. You can apply to as well. Use the Lagos State government letterheaded paper to say you are coming back. We're expecting him back at the office at this time. This is the department he works for. We want him to go and learn this so that, we can
come and we can use this.
It. So planning is just planning. You have to plan yourself. You understand? So strong ties, very important. Your proof of funds, very important too as well. Your proof of funds is very important. It's 4 to 6 months, preferably 6 months sitting in your account. To show to them that you can take care of yourself. You see it on the Canadian government website already. What is required for your living expenses in a year?
Okay.
And what I advise people is, as much as you can. I know people say some school, I think Manitoba, some schools don't ask you to pay deposits after admission.
Okay.
They will just give you admission and say, resume once you have gotten your visa. But pay something. before you go and do your visa, whatever. How can you say you are going to a school that the tuition fee is 20,000?
And you
are submitting visa application, no tuition fee receipt.
Wow.
So that visa application that we're giving you, how are we sure that when you get to Canada,
you are going to go to
the school? No commitment to the school at all. So you fly, you land in Canada and now say, I'm not going to Manitoba. I'm not going to Manitoba. This is where I want to stay.
That's true.
So you have to commit. I advise people as much as you can, pay 50%. If you can, pay 100% before your visa application. If you can, pay 100%. Clear out your tuition fee. Pay it. And just submit the receipt. At least, once you have paid fully your tuition fee, what that does for you is that it reduces the expectations for your proof of funds. Because if you have not paid it, you still have to reflect what is left of your money in your proof of funds. But when you pay, in their mind, what it tells the person looking at your application is that this person made full commitment. It means that that cost is important to you. For you to have, on the spot, cleared your tuition fee without even getting a visa. So it helps with how they view your application when they see you've made 100% commitment to the program. So once that is done, if you can't, I know a lot of people can't, so just pay something. Pay your deposit, but I always advise pay beyond your deposit. Pay beyond your deposit. So once that payment is done, we know that, okay, you have paid, you have made a commitment to the school, you have your proof of funds ready. Please, proof of funds, please. Nigerians, proof of funds, Nigerians, special message for you at this point. I'm begging you with everything. I beg you, stop using doctored proof of funds. And stop using all those people that used to sell statement of account. It's already in the system. Once they know. Just stop it. It doesn't work. And you have just put yourself in a very difficult position. You end up getting banned. You have, just stop. There's no point. Don't try it. Don't mess up your life. You understand? There's no point doing that. Don't just try it at all. And you see all these micro financial banks that are under the tree, under the ground, giving you money. All of them are already in the system.
Wow.
So don't bother. If you go to your bank, if your bank can loan you money, collect it. Do it the legitimate way. Do it the legitimate way. Let them put it in your account. Build your account for 6 months. Be paying them the interest. Build your account for 6 months and use it to apply. Stop all this using backyard to enter. They already know. So you are going to get a rejection. If you like, come and tell me, because I have them. The person that got visa in December, use the same account. That's the head of the person. And the person will still meet it in funds. That's the very funny thing. The fact that the person got visa now doesn't mean that, for example, when the person decides to say, oh, I want to apply for my work permit, or I want to apply for this, they won't bring out, maybe they are still investigating that one. When they are done with investigating it, they will draw all the people that used it and recall them and say, come and explain to us. True. So the fact that person went doesn't mean that in 2 years or in 3 years' time, the person will not have a case to answer. Wow. So why not just do things the right way? You doctor, they will remove the name of the person from the statement of account and put it in another, you put the other person's name. The same amount, the same deductions with their names. Tokpe sent money to Debby, 25 or 10,000 naira.
It's just a different name of account name.
It's just a different name of the account owner.
Account owner, yeah.
So please, even they are not that.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Just stop it. There's no point. So try as much as possible to do things the legitimate way. And like we said, that it's very difficult. We have seen people that it's been so easy for them. First-time applicants, never been to any country before, and they apply themselves.
Wow.
And they got visa. It's just about being truthful. Just, this is what I have. This is what I'm submitting to you. This is it. Some even will go with their kids and be like, yes, I'm going with my kids.
Imagine.
And they will just submit it and they will get approval.
So the one you've mentioned twice now about the kids family.
Yeah.
So if I were applying for a study visa,
yeah,
do my family, will my family automatically?
It's not automatic.
Okay, so how does that work? If I have family members I want to bring along, like maybe I want to bring my husband and my kids.
Yeah, so
to Canada.
So yeah, you can apply for them too as well when you're applying for your own visa.
Okay. Oh.
But then what happens at that point is that there will be an issue with ties.
Because what is bringing you back to your country?
Yes. You are going with your entire family. How do we know that you're going to come back? So that's an issue with ties. It works for people.
It works for some people.
It works for people. But mind you, for those it works for, you have to have a lot of money to show in your account. I know someone personally that came with, I think, 5 of his kids.
Okay.
Entire family, they had 150 million in their account.
Million naira.
Naira, 150 million naira.
To show as
proof of fund. So what is the message it sends across? If he was able to raise 150 million naira in his account that he owns for himself, he's okay. So maybe it's just true that the wife needs emotional support, needs her kids to be around needs help with it makes your story make sense. But if it's 10 million naira that is in your account
and you want to carry all
your children, you're automatically going to be a liability to us. So when you are adding your family members, you need to do more with showing ties to your home country. What's going to bring you back? Oh, do you have a business that you are running that requires your, I can't leave this business already worth so million dollars. You understand? This is the worth of this business. This is what we are doing. See all our documents. See how far we've gone. Look us up here. Look us up there. I'm not leaving that for anything. I'm not leaving that to come to Canada to come and do what? So there must be something. So that man I was telling you about, he has something in Nigeria that is worth millions of dollars. So it made sense for them to say, oh, okay, he's never leaving that. It's not possible. It's not possible. So you have to be able to show strong ties. It could be your parents, it could be something, but your parents will not work as strong ties in this situation. So you have to show. So whatever your strong ties is, if you have decided to bring your kids and your spouse, that's left to you. But know that it might be wise to leave them. It might be wise to leave them, especially when you don't have enough funds. Because now, when you're bringing them, per the number of people you're bringing, the requirement is there. We'll put the link. Second family member, second child, what you're required to bring. But showing that exact figure might not do it.
I get what you mean.
Okay. Don't tell a lie. Don't tell a lie. Because I know I get a lot of calls from people saying, the agent just said I should say it like that people are saying it like that. Don't tell a lie. There's no need telling a lie. So there are some countries that when you apply for their visa, they don't verify. Canada is not one of those countries.
Wow.
They might not verify all. But it might be your own they will verify. So there's no point trying it out. They verify. That's what you should know. There are some countries who will not mention their name. You just submit application. As long as the surface level looks legit, it goes through. But Canada will verify. And Canada will ban you. If there's any misrepresentation, looking like fraud, they will ban you. And the ban is 10 years. So, what's the point?
Abi? So, my last question before we wrap up. Can you just summarize, what somebody comes in to study?
Yes.
Legitimately, you are in, you got the visa. What are chances of what are things the person can explore post-study? For example, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
What are the opportunities that you can explore in Canada post-study?
Okay, so thanks for that question. So it will also lead me to talk about when you're coming into Canada to study and you are looking forward to exploring, other options that are available after your study. It's advisable that you go for a 2-year program, postgraduate program. Okay. Because Canada will give you postgraduate work permits after study.
Okay.
And if you do a 2-year program, they will give you a 2 or a 3-year postgraduate work permit. Okay. But if you do a 1-year program, then they might give you a 1-year. They will give you a 1-year postgraduate work permit, and that's not enough time, you know, for you to explore, you know, what is available for you in the country. So it's always important to give yourself enough time so you are not agitated after your study. Always coming for a 2-year program. Mind you, a 2-year program with an institution that is on the list.
I was going to say that, the DLI list.
Yes, on the list, a 2-year program, and having done a course that is
on the list.
So it's very, very important that you have that in mind. And once you come in, 2-year program, you get 3-year work, postgraduate work permit. 3 years is enough time, you know. Enough time for you to get a job, that you can settle into, prove yourself, you know, get your work permit. And once you get your work permit, then you're good. You know, once you get your work permit, you've worked for 1 year and you schooled in Canada, you are now eligible to apply for PR, which is which goes back to the FSW one. But this time around,
you have more things.
This time around, you are within Canada, so you probably be applying under the, you know, Canadian experienced, you know, skilled whatever within Canada. So that's a different application on itself, because you already have experience in Canada, you have work experience in Canada, you have school in Canada, so your points, everything is just going to shoot up, and then you will get highly likely. And we have seen instances of people who were in the pool, came to Canada, studied, updated themselves on the pool, that they are now, you know, they now have education. They have education within Canada, you know, did the job, updated themselves, that they have experience within Canada, and boosted their chances. So a lot of people have done it using the same profile, or just reapplying and they added their new skills, new, you know, qualifications, and they got. People were not qualified
before, right? So even if in a case that somebody whose point was low, maybe because of his or her age, and the person now came to study, experience within Canada, be it through education and be it through career work, it boosts your points.
Boost your points automatically, and you stand a better chance. That's why people, when you hear people say that come to Canada, you will get PR even if you come through study route. It's true. These are what people do, you know, to ensure that they get it. They do the work permit, they work, they then apply for PR. So
it's another pathway.
Yeah, it's a pathway to be
a pathway, but it's a longer one.
It's a longer one. And it's also a pathway for people who feel like, I don't qualify for PR directly with the federal skilled worker. Directly. So they can come in, start with the study, and begin to work themselves up, get their work visa, and after that they can apply as a permanent resident.
Yes. Wow, guys, thank you so much. I hope that has broken down a lot of, I think people have a lot of misconceptions with this, and I really appreciate you emphasizing on legitimate application.
Legitimate application.
And things that can help you in terms of your student visa application. Thank you so much for that, Debby. And you guys, that brings us to the end of this video. We fully explored the study visa pathway. Thank you guys so much, and we will see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Thank you so much for watching this with us, and see you next time. Bye. All right, guys, thank you so much. I trust that you found that information. I trust that you found that video very, very informative. So just to point out, guys, that if you want a more personalized consultation that will be specific to your own situation, your own career, and your own goals, you can reach out to Debby. Remember, Debby is a representative of Caulfield Consult, and she also works in partnership with licensed immigration consultants here in Canada. So I'm going to put our website on the screen, and I'm also going to put our email address, okay? If that is something that you are interested in, please reach out to her via email, and then you will be put in contact with the licensed immigration consultants that she is in partnership with. Okay, so I hope that you find that very, very helpful. Thank you so much once again.